you guys are still want to trade? You got 2 days left?
Yeah, I was in third place.
Yeah, see, it's very easy to make. You see, Andrew, she make close to 8% return just in a day. You can easily do that. I don't know the stock she has chosen for her portfolio, but you guys didn't fall behind too much from Lucas. Don't let him steal from. Well, you guys should steal from him.
I was in third place yesterday.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, Tristan, what happened, man?
So,
Netflix freaking went down. But it's alright. I'll just.
so Lucas, what's the stock in your portfolio? Can you share with us?
I'm using some penny stocks.
Which one?
I don't know the name, but I was just like looking for some internet, like, and I was like setting them, seeing if they like were good. So like I did this this morning. So.
Okay, but anyhow, we got the game will be over by Friday. I set it at Friday because you know, because the next week should be the final week, so I want it to be over. So I don't want it to be waiting for so long. But anyhow, this is a game, and we have this is Wednesday, so next Monday we have another class. We'll be revisit the cash flow statement. We'll use the one in the final as example, and then in the final exam and questions related to the cash flow statement will be, yeah. And we're waiting for you. Congratulations. Yeah, we got 2 days left for this game to be over. Yeah. So can you share with us which stock you had in your portfolio?
I think it's too soon.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
I was encouraging everybody to start stealing from you. Anyhow, so last time there are only 5 students in the class, so we did the capital budgeting. So, but anyhow, Tristan has done a really good job explaining how to do this homework. And then so you can find his part in the part 3 of the class videos. So anyhow, so if you need help, be sure check it out for the class videos we did last week on Monday. For today, we will do cost of capital. And again, I will post the class videos in the class website. Okay, so if I ask you, here it is. This is information, I got it by Tuesday, yesterday. So this is, if you click on this website, so you see here, as of today, that's Tuesday, and the weighted average cost of capital is 5.4%, ROIC is 11.01%, and Amazon's WACC is 12.09%. It's 14.27%, and its ROIC is 32%. And for Apple, average cost of capital is 7.58%, ROIC is 36.58%. What does that mean? So what's this WACC? Weighted average cost of capital is 5.4%. What did that mean? Why the 3 companies have different numbers for weighted average cost of capital? Where does this difference come from? And ROIC is return from, what's ROIC mean? Investment, right? Return from their investment is 11%. Weighted average cost of capital is 5.4% for Walmart. So what did that mean? What's this weighted average cost of capital mean? Just common sense. For example, you want to buy a car, and you get finance from one bank, but it's not enough. You go to the second bank, get another loan from the second bank. So if people ask you, how much is the loan's rate? And you should consider the weighted cost. You should consider the average for both banks. Right? So what this WACC for Walmart means, where did this big difference come from? Amazon's WACC is 14%. Is that too high? Walmart is 5%. Is that too low? How can they just achieve this kind of low cost of capital? And then my next question is how to calculate it. Let's confirm, let's demonstrate. Walmart WACC is really a lot lower than Amazon's and Apple's. Tristan, you have answers to all my questions, I know, right?
What?
What's WACC means, you think, common sense? Weighted average cost of capital. So for Walmart, cost of capital means what to Walmart? Cost of capital means how much they raise their capitals. It's just like we want to get the loans for a car. So how much is our cost? In other words, it's just how much is the interest the bank is charging us, right? For us. So for the company, cost of capital means what? Where do they raise the capital from? How much does it cost them to raise the capital? Okay, so what do you think? Where did Walmart raise capital from? If they need money to open a new location, new store near JU, where do they get the money from? Loans, shareholders, right? So from the stock market or from loans from bond market or stock market. Yes, so they can have a combination of money from both markets. So is that a cost to them when they issue stocks to raise the capital from the stock market? Any cost? They have to pay dividend, right? They have to give ownership away to the new shareholders. When they issue the money from capital from the bond market, is there any cost? Do they have to pay coupon? Do they have to pay interest? Is that cost to them? That's right? So Walmart, when considering their cost from the bond market by paying the coupon, and also they raise capital from the stock market by paying dividend to shareholders. And when we consider them together, we come up with 5.4% cost of capital. And that means what? It's just like you go to the bank say interest rate is 5.4%. And that means what? For each dollar you get from the bank, you pay back to them 5.4% as interest rate. And so you can consider this 5.4% as the interest rate to the bondholders and also to the stockholders. Is that high? Think about the mortgage rate we can get like 5% or something. This is pretty low for a firm, right? So for Amazon, it costs them 14.27%. So, and that means if Amazon want to raise $1 from the market, they have to pay 14.27 cents for each dollar from the capital market back to the investors in the bond market and the stock market. Is that too high? Shall they stop raising capitals from the capital market? Walmart seems like it's low. It's just like if mortgage rate is low, we should buy houses. If mortgage rate goes up, we shouldn't buy houses. Yeah, so Amazon's cost of capital is 14.27%. Since this is the interest rate it has to pay. So is that too high? Shall Amazon stop raising capitals from the capital market or not? Look at the ROIC. And that ROIC means for a dollar they raised from the capital market, how much return they're getting back. They're getting 31.32 cents back. For each dollar they borrowed, they raised in the capital market. So is that a good deal to them? The spread between ROIC and cost of capital is very high for Amazon. And that means they are using the money very wisely. It costs them 14.27 cents for each dollar they raise in the capital market, but they get back 31.32 cents from their investment, from their utilization of this dollar. So they use this dollar very efficiently. For each dollar they borrowed, they raised in the capital market, they get back a lot more. So it's a good idea for them to do that. Instead, Walmart, the spread between ROIC and cost of capital is low. So because Walmart doesn't have so much of the investment opportunities, so they cannot invest more efficiently. Okay? So, and compare with Apple. So, what do you think of Apple? Apple's cost of capital is in between Amazon and Walmart, but its ROIC is the highest. So, so it seems like Apple should go back to the capital market and raise more capital until like they use up the investment opportunities and their ROIC start dropping and their cost of capital start rising. So is that right? So Walmart WACC is the lowest, and followed by Apple, and highest one is Amazon. Now, where's the difference come from? Why there is a huge difference? Why Amazon's WACC is a lot higher than Walmart? So
Pay back more.
they have to pay back more to the bondholder, and they have to pay back more to the stockholder because they are perceived in the market as riskier, right? Riskier. So let's do the calculations. Now let's calculate the WACC of Walmart. Can we do that? Can we do that? Well, let's consider. Let's just use their balance sheet as to get information to calculate WACC. Let's do that. So now the job is let's calculate WACC of Walmart. So how shall we start? So if I'm asking you what's WACC of Walmart, what you should be considering, the factors you should be considering is what? We want, since this is a weighted average cost of capital from bond market and stock market, so we want to know how much is the cost of debt, cost of issuing bond, right, for Walmart, also cost of issuing stock for Walmart. And also we want to know how much debt Walmart has, how much equity Walmart has, and then put them together, that would be WACC. Let's do this calculation. Tristan, we need your help again.
Someone might have to take my place today.
Huh? Well, so we want to know how much is weight. This is WD, the weight of debt. The weight, let's say, the weight of equity, or the percentage the company has as debt, the company has as equity, and also we want to know the cost. Let's use K, cost of debt, and then cost of equity, and then the last thing we do, we put it together to get a WACC. So let's do that. So we try to get WACC, weighted average cost of capital. So we want to know cost of debt, cost of equity, the percentage of equity, the percentage of debt in their capital portfolio is how much. Okay, to get the cost, the weight of debt and weight of equity, we can calculate it. Go to find their balance sheet. We can use total liability as or long-term debt. This is, we can just use long-term debt. Long-term debt is the money raised in the bond market as the debt. And for equity, we can just use common stock. Let's just use common stock for equity. This will be equity. And then we think about both, and then we figure out the percentage. We say this is the balance sheet of Walmart. This is annual, and that's right. And the end of January 2019. So you see, long-term debt. Here, this is Walmart. Let's just ignore these zeros. For common stock, that's too low. Now let's just use common stock. That's too low compared to that. Let's use this total stockholders' equity. So see, from the balance sheet, we know long-term debt and the amount of equity, and then we can figure out the weight, the percentage of debt, and then percentage of equity. And then so we got the first step and second step. It's just like how much capital raised from the debt market. Here, what is the percentage of equity? What's a percentage of capital raised from the stock market? So this is this one. Okay, so that's a weight. So how much is it? Anybody got the answer? This one? So it should be about 35. So it should be 30 something, right? I don't know. How much? Tristan, you got a number? So Andre, did you get a number? Jessica, did you get a number?
No, I'm still trying to take it in.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
The first one? Oh, I don't know. I'm just putting this to show like example. How much is 30?
Yeah, 85%.
No, it's too high.
Yeah.
85 is too high. Let's see, I'm almost there. Yeah, 38, and the other one should be, oh, yeah, 38 and 62. Okay, so and that means for Walmart, we'll have 38 of capital raised from the debt market and 62% of the capital is from the stock market. So this is the first step. To get the weighted average cost of capital, so we need to use, since it's a weighted average, it's just like we need to use the weight of debt, cost of debt. So we should get something around 5.4%. So this is our goal. So we got the first two numbers. Right, so we got these numbers from the balance sheet of Walmart. This is long-term debt. This is total equity. This is otherwise the common stock is too low. That's the book value. So we're using the total equity here. Anyhow, now who can tell me how to calculate the cost of debt? And then cost of equity. Cost of debt. Cost of debt. Walmart raised capital from the debt market. There's a cost. Because what debt is borrowing from the debt holders or bond market investors. So since it's borrowing, they have to pay interest back to the lenders. So they have to pay, it's called coupon, right? Because we learned it. For the bond market, the borrowers needs to pay coupon back to the bondholders. So for example, if you're thinking about how much money the bank made from giving you the loan, approving your loan. So you pay, for example, 3% of interest for your car loan, and then so that's a cost to you, right? So that's the money earned by the bank, right? So it's just like it's two parties. One party is making money, the other party is paying for this loan, right? So in this case, Walmart is the one paying to the bondholders the interest, and bondholders will be earning some returns from lending money to Walmart. So we've learned in the bond chapter, like yield to maturity, that's the return, that's the money earned by the bondholders. So for each dollar earned by the bondholders, each dollar received as interest payment or coupon payment by the bond market investors, and who's paying them? It's Walmart. It's a company paying them. So that's a cost to Walmart. So since we know how to calculate the yield to maturity from the bond market, and this is return to the bondholders. Any return earned by bondholders will be paid by the company. It's just like you go to get loans from the bank and you pay to the bank. Bank will be making money from you. Like in this case, the bond market investors invest in Walmart, and Walmart has to pay to the bondholders. So it's the same thing, just two sides of the same thing, two sides of the story of the same thing. One is paying the other party. So since we know how to calculate the yield to maturity from the bond chapter 7, so it's the same thing. So the cost of debt, the difference will be, the cost of debt will be the returns to the bondholder or yield to maturity. Remember we used the rate function in Excel to do that? And it should be number of years, maturity, ampere, remember? And then coupon, right? So it's the same thing. And then so we have price, negative price, 1,000. So this is yield to maturity. Right? So for bond, it's the same thing, except you have to make some changes to this equation. One is because interest is tax deductible. So like you get the mortgage and the interest payment is tax deductible. It will reduce your tax payment. So it's interest is tax deductible. So it has to be 1 minus tax rate. So this is one modifications you have to do, 1 minus tax rate. And another modification you have to do, this is not price. This is still price, but it should be negative price because the company raised money, capital from the bond market, and they have to pay a fee. It's called flotation. The company, instead of receiving the whole amount of proceeds, they have to pay a certain amount as flotation cost to the investment banks. So they didn't get the whole proceeds. They get partial of that. They get part of this proceeds. So this is the whole thing. This is a KD. So we do two modifications. Multiply by 1 minus tax rate. You see the equation. So I have it here. You see cost of, here is the equation. . 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 × 1 this one, cost of debt. This is the cost of debt. Makes sense, right? So it's just similar to returns to the bondholder, except there is a tax benefits to the firm, so multiplied by 1 minus tax rate. And also the price is the selling price for the bond. But the company has to pay for the investment, for the fees, for services to investment banks. It's called flotation cost. And then so you use this equation to calculate the cost of debt. So since Walmart issued multiple bonds with different maturities, so we cannot just use one. But let's just use one. Let's just use like the 10-year, Walmart is 10-year bond, and let's see how much is the cost of that. Let's just assume Walmart tax rate is 30%. Let's do that. Okay, so where can we find it? fin301.org. Remember to get the bond market information for investors. Market data center, bond, and search, and Walmart. Okay. Okay, let's find a 10-year, 20. Yeah, let's just use this one. This one. So 2030. So we don't have to do calculations because it's given. No. Let's still do the calculation. Let's just say this is information. Okay, so this is let's assume price. Now price is given 1442. Let's also assume ampere is 10. Coupon is so we know that also. Future value is 1,000. Yearly, the flotation of price. Tax rate, let's use 30%, 34%. Now, cost of debt should be, let me give you the equation here. So it should be ampere coupon okay, so it makes sense, right? So let's use the 10-year bond of Walmart. But we cannot use the yield directly. The yield is 2.9% given in the website, but because we need to subtract, take out the flotation cost, also we need to multiply by 1 minus the tax rate. Makes sense, right? So, and then we can get the cost of debt. So it will be the third unknown factors here. let me cheat. You guys do your calculation, but since I have the calculators here, this is annual coupon bond. We're assuming it's annual coupon bond, but you guys do the calculation by yourself. So it should be 2.2821. So is that right? Anyhow, 2.28521, right? Percent. That what you got in Excel? So Tristan, did you get this? No. See, so this is the equation. Let's copy it to Excel. Yeah. 2.28. Right? So that what you guys got? So you got 2.28%? Not yet? So anybody got it? No one got it?